What is going on, YouTube? What I want to talk to you guys about in today's video is why it's extremely important to have a clear focus on your goals and to block out distractions. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video is I was playing basketball and I had an analogy come to me that is very true. So essentially, I was shooting around, and as it started to get darker, I was making more of my shots. And not only that, but the shots I was missing, the hoop I'm playing at, there's a field that has a hill that goes down. And so all of my shots, I was following through on them. I was grabbing my rebounds, following after my shot. And the ones I did miss, I didn't miss nearly as bad. And the analogy that came to me was, as it gets more difficult around us, we have to focus more on the task, right? So as it was getting more dark and my vision starts to go, I need my eyes to be a lot more sharper and focused on the rim and, making the shot, right? And being aware of my perception because it's getting more challenging. So I have to focus more, put forth more energy, right? And in the same sense, it's like that with our goals. So we want to make sure, that as things get more difficult, we apply more attention and apply more focus to our goals. And I've noticed this analogy in the past with playing basketball, where as it gets darker, your eyes have to concentrate and focus more, and you start, performing better. And it's funny because with the daylight, when you can see, it wasn't clear as day, but a lot lighter out, a lot less dark, you could say, I was missing more shots. And then as it started to get darker, I started to develop this urgency, like I need to start making more shots before I leave. And also, most importantly, I need to focus more and be more precise with my shooting because I can't really see, so I'm already at a disadvantage, right? And it's so true when we look at that concept and apply it to our goals in real life, in reality, because as we have more urgency to get these tasks done, and they are of more importance, and we have more distractions, it's much more crucial to focus on those things. So the times in your life where you are struggling the most, whether that be like with your fitness, your nutrition, your mindset, whatever, or even just in general in life, you need to apply more pressure to fixing those things and canceling out the distractions. And I thought the analogy was pretty cool because for all you basketball watchers out there, or people that play, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, okay, it's getting more challenging, and I'm at more of a disadvantage, so now I have to apply myself better. And usually in that time, that's the time when you actually succeed. But oftentimes we don't get to that level when it's sunny outside, right? So we don't get to our best level and to that extreme focus because we don't need to, because we have other options and it's easier, right? And we don't have to apply ourselves that hard. But oftentimes it's when we look back and we realize that those times where you had a lot of momentum going, you were picking up a lot of steam, you were seeing successes in your endeavors, had you applied yourself further and doubled down, quadrupled down, whatever, and done more of that more consistently over the long haul and stuck with it, you would be at a much further ahead spot, right? And we all know that's true with one scenario or another where it's like, okay, I could have done more there, and it would have definitely yielded me more of a result, because given what happened, I saw with my own two eyes, right? Like I maybe gained some tangible success, but I knew that there was more. And looking back on it now, that there's more you could have done, right? Because now you have newfound knowledge and more experience, right? But oftentimes we don't apply ourselves and try to get to that state of extreme focus and attention unless things are important. And another quick analogy I'll use is, I remember in college in a writing class learning about the importance of time management. And one thing that they talked about was how there were some studies about a lot of people, procrastinating the last couple of days before the paper was due or the exam due date, whatever. They would just jam pack information. And what they found was that because a lot of people put so much urgency on those final couple of days, even though they didn't study the rest of the month, they took it much more serious and focused, and they kind of put themselves in that stressful situation, which they didn't need to, but because of that, it allowed them to perform better, retain more information, etc., and ultimately perform better on the exam or paper. And it's pretty funny because if you look at it in every avenue of life, there's always times where you're like, oh, I could have done more, or I shouldn't have done that, I should have done more of this, right? But you don't ever get to a point where, you know, it becomes easy to do that. You need to will yourself into doing these things consistently. And you don't want to wait for it to be challenging and difficult. This is what has helped me, right? Like when I flip the script and start to look at it upon, you know, I don't want to wait for these things to be bad in my life before I take action on them. I want to take action now so that they can be even better than what they currently are, right? Like with my fitness, with my nutrition, like why, because I'm seeing some success, am I going to slow down? Why would I do that? That makes zero sense, right? Like you would want to continue the plan and execute even harder, right? But now where you are, you likely have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, a lot of things that you look back on, not maybe in a sense of regret, but oh, like I wish I did that better. Now you can apply that to what you're doing currently and do that more consistently, do that, you know, more efficiently, right? And if you start to look at that analogy of the basketball hoop, right, where as it becomes harder, that's when you double down. That's oftentimes when you make the most success, right? And like if you're in a pinch tight situation and you need to get a result done within a matter of time, you usually find a way to get it done because it's of enough importance to you, right? But if you don't have that deadline or that urgency, it's very, very difficult to get to that level. So try to create that in your life. And I think the best way of doing that is setting deadlines, setting destinations, you know, having other people hold you accountable, having other people on the same path that are trying to better themselves. And they're holding you accountable for the times where you don't feel like it. Because as much as we all want to say, like, I hold myself accountable, there's always people that, you know, even the best of the best that are consistently very disciplined, they still have other people around them to make sure they're more disciplined. And that's how they improve. They need somebody to look up to try to attain to be and try to improve and be more like, right? Because not always are we going to grow. And oftentimes we won't if we're in an environment where the people are all stagnating. But if you're the best person in the room, it's probably a sign that like, okay, unless the people around you are also working on improving, you should probably put yourself around people that have bigger goals. So like when it comes to fitness, you know, start talking to people that have way more muscle than you, people that are in way better shape than you, because you might feel weird about it at first, but they're probably going to help you out, and you're going to gain and gather knowledge from this individual just simply by being around them. It's like the rule of the 5 people you spend yourself with, right? So like find these people, and maybe you find them on social media, maybe you find them in person at your gym, whatever. And same thing with any success in life. If you surround yourself with these people, you'll start improving. But you need some sort of way, either it's another person, or maybe it's some sort of ritual or routine, or something that allows you to consistently improve yourself and consistently push yourself to the next level. And I think this is oftentimes a lot of the reason why people might do a marathon or some sort of event like this and sign up for whatever, because, you know, it's making them, oh, I want to see what I'm capable of. But then as soon as that thing's over with, it's hard, you know, to stick to these habits, because it's like, well, what's the point? Right? Well, like if you start to shift that and be like, well, the point is like, I want to become the best version of myself and, you know, develop and uncover what I've never seen before with my physique, with my health, with my relationships, you know, my energy, how I'm feeling, like my outlook on life, my perspective, these sorts of things. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I just want you guys to really narrow down that, like, when the times get tough, you need to understand that's when you're going to perform the best, right? Like if you are that type of individual that's going to wither through the storm, when times get tough, you can double down. But you don't have to wait for times to get tough. You can, you know, get ahead in life, get ahead in these endeavors and start putting yourself in a position to actually win. I posted a recent video talking about a winning environment, and this is similar to that, but more so I just want to hammer down like, yo, if you guys consistently take the actions necessary and you surround yourself with these people that have the knowledge, the skills, the insights, you ask questions, you actually apply yourself consistently, and you don't wait for it to be at a point where you're like, shit, I need to get into shape now because like I've let myself go. Like, bro, you can continue to work on yourself even if you're already in good shape, even if you're one of the most jacked people in your friend group, bro, improve from that. Like start to like try to be one of these next guys, right? Like there's always levels to these things. And I don't think you should look at it as comparison and like, oh, he's better than who, but it's like, I think you should look at it as like, okay, this person is succeeding and doing very well in this skill. And so because of that, I want to model my similar skill after this person, or maybe how I look at life like after this person. So like surrounding yourself with these people super key. But also making sure that like you're taking the necessary steps to like find what it is that's going to make you have to push through. And if you can't find that thing, then create that thing, right? So maybe put a goal in on your calendar, on your whiteboard, whatever, and say like, okay, this is what I'm going to accomplish by this date, because that will create some sense of urgency in your life and make you have to continue taking, consistent action, progressive action towards achieving that goal. And then when you achieve that, just even if it's the most simple thing, like, oh, I'm going to run in a 5K, or, I'm going to sign up for my local gym, like something simple like that, right? Like as soon as you do these things, you're like, okay, I just really, accomplished this task. And you realize how you feel after doing that, how you feel about yourself and your confidence and like actually taking action on your goals. And then you can start to apply that. That's the time where you're primed. You're in a really good headspace. You should continue attacking harder goals because the confidence is highest. You shouldn't wait for, you signed up for the gym and you did one class and then 3 weeks went by where like you could have stayed motivated and kept the momentum, and you lost the momentum, you stopped going to the gym, and now it's like now you're trying to build it back up again. Like, when it seems easier, hammer down then. Continue going down on your goals. Like if you have like this goal for yourself, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds, make it easy, right? Like you don't have to lose 50 pounds overnight. You can lose 50 pounds, but start, okay, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds, and then set that goal. What's the first step? Okay, get a gym membership, start eating these sorts of foods more, start eating these sorts of foods less, etc. And then it's like, okay, make a plan of action, follow the steps, hold yourself accountable, prove to yourself that you can. And then to some extent, if you cannot do that, or again, like back to my previous point, to make yourself take even more action, surround yourself with these people that are going to hold you accountable. And like doing these things, it's like, okay, boom, you just checked one box off, right? You lost that 10 pounds. Maybe it took you 2-3 weeks and that's it, bro. Now it's like, okay, you have a lot of momentum, you have a lot of steam, you're confident in yourself. Now you could choose, okay, let me lose another 10 pounds and that's a piece of cake, that's a walk in the park. Or you can say, okay, I just did that 10 pounds with this much knowledge. I wonder if I can lose 20 pounds in like say the next 60 days. I wonder if I can do that. Let me like just at least try. Maybe you don't lose 20 pounds, but you lose 15. Bro, like look at what you're doing. You're setting yourself up with higher standards, higher expectations, higher goals, and maybe you're falling short and you're not hitting them, but you're still getting way past where you would be if you set these base level goals or you don't set any goals at all, right? Have clear direction where you want to go, bro, and follow through with these things. And maybe you do follow that plan and you're like, okay, now I'm picking up steam, I'm picking up momentum, I feel really, really confident, and like I can knock that out of the park. And then you lose that 20 pounds. Maybe you lose more, maybe you lose 25 pounds, right? And when you're in that process, it's your mentality and your mindset starting to shift, because you're uncovering what actually is possible, what actually is tangible for your eyes to see, because what you've put in with your hands and the goals you've worked towards, the actions you've taken, your mindset has improved because of these things. And now it's like, yes, you're improving your physique, but most importantly, like you're believing that you have, the ability to do these other tasks in life, these other goals that you have, whether that be in or outside of fitness. You have a much different perspective because now you've seen not just what your body is capable of, but what you are capable of, because you've applied yourself, right? And we can't just get into great shape without applying ourselves. Like some people might have okay genetics and be able to stay in decent shape without doing a ton of actions. Some people, like maybe on the opposite spectrum, they might have like poor genetics and do a ton and not see the best results. But either way, you cannot just get these results without doing any action. You need to be doing some things, and whatever your daily actions are, your weekly actions, those lead to the results you currently have, right? But if you can continue like taking the proper steps, then you realize, okay, boom, it's possible to achieve this thing, and I'm going to follow the plan until I achieve that goal. And then when you do that, you set the continuing steps. But as you're going through setting up those next steps, you realize that you should probably set higher expectations, higher goals, larger steps for yourself, because you realize that what you did just there was a piece of cake. And because of that, you're stronger, you have a better mindset. And so you should be compounding in terms of how much you can apply yourself and how much you can actually aim, reach, and attain to achieve. So ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope you guys liked my couple of analogies, but really what I want you guys to get from this video is, having the mindset that when things get tough, you're going to stay consistent, you're going to cut out expectations, or I should say, block out expectation, or block out, what is the word? Block out distractions. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry, you guys. Lost my train of thought. But like when times get tough, when you know you lose the focus, block out the distractions, dial in, and most importantly, underline, highlight, asterisk this following statement, bro. Literally, like when you are seeing success, when you are seeing tangible results, double down, triple down, quadruple down, continue going harder, applying more, because that is the time when it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier, and then eventually you build so much leverage that you've done this for so long, you have such a good mindset, and you have so many results that you never even consider looking back to where you were before. And it all stemmed from you applying yourself, you know, setting goals, setting high expectations, and then understanding that, like, okay, it is possible to achieve them, and then watching the goals unfold right in front of your eyes. So appreciate you guys staying to the end. If you are somebody that wants to dive deep into knowing, you know, what you should be doing when it comes to nutrition and training, given your goals, specifically when it comes to, you know, you want to build muscle, you want to optimize your metabolism for consistent fat loss, then you guys can click the link below. That's where you'll be able to schedule a call. We can go through a roadmap of, okay, like, where are you currently at? What are your challenges? And if I feel like I can help, then I'll give you my suggestions. If not, then I can point you in a good direction. But ladies and gentlemen, for the third and final time, thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for more content like this. Check out my Instagram at JStarFit for more workout videos, nutritional content, and these sorts of things in that shorter form. And take action on your goals. Don't wait until the time is difficult to apply yourself. Make things easier, pick up steam, pick up momentum, gain confidence, set higher goals, set higher expectations, achieve those things, hold yourself accountable, and have other people hold you accountable. And pretty soon you will be an unstoppable individual.